Did you draw the chariot, everybody? And you've labeled it. The labels are more important. Okay, good. So we are coming to the middle section, middle part of section 2. Yama starts speaking and he's explaining the most vital aspect of this Upanishad to Nachiketa. And what is he explaining? That is what we will dive into deeper now. So all those of you who recognize you are the witnessing awareness field of the person, take the stand of the witness right now. Recognize the witnesses in the center, making notes, sitting this way, doing that. Observe. Take that stand. Throughout this session, maintain the stand of the witness. Then you will be at Nachiketa's level. Nachiketa is now listening to Yama. Yama is speaking. What does Yama say? You, the witness consciousness, are like the passenger in a chariot. A chariot is something that you can hire. So the passenger hires the chariot. It does not become yours by hiring. It does not become yours by hiring. You hire it for a little while, you ride it for a little while, and you exit the chariot. You have hired the chariot. Is that becoming very clear? Where is he going? You, the witness, have hired a chariot. And what is this chariot? It is this body. That is why you will see the label of the body. The label of the body is on the chariot. You have hired it. You are the rider or the passenger that hires it. The passenger can never become the owner of it. It only hires. He only hires it for a short while. So Nachiketa has reached that level in witnessing where Yama can speak like this to Nachiketa. You, the witness consciousness, are the rider, he says. You are the passenger. When you recognize very clearly that you are not the body and you have only hired this body for a little while, now that distance starts developing in you. Ask yourself, have I nurtured the skill of witnessing to this level where I have started being at a distance from that which is hired? It's not mine. Yeah? It's hired. It can never be mine. Doesn't matter how much ever money you pay for something you hire, you know you are on rent. This is short term. Yeah? Has that recognition arisen in me that this is only short term? When that starts becoming clearer and clearer, then the passion related with this chariot, with this body, starts becoming thinner and thinner, and that is called dispassion. It takes some time to happen. Yeah, I'm explaining it in 2 sentences, but it takes its time to move from passion all the way to dispassion. Only one thing is required, one recognition is required for it to move from passion to dispassion. What is that? Here I thought, I am the body. I am the owner of the chariot. In fact, I am the chariot, I used to think. Now, I have started saying, no, I am the space in which this chariot appears and disappears. Now you come to the other side where you start recognizing, I am not the body. I have hired this chariot. I am not the chariot. So you see, this journey from I am the body to I am not the body, this will happen very easily if you take the initial steps with the help of Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. wake, dream, sleep exploration that I explained in the previous section, in the previous video. You move from here to here, recognizing, oh, I am not the body, it's only hired. Then that imagination of I am the body that was generated by the intellect, now it starts dwindling away. It starts breaking away. You've had a good relationship earlier in life which later turned sour. Yes? Just like that. You have a relationship with this body. And that relationship is based on an imagination. I will call it infatuation. It's not true love. It's just that you are infatuated by this person. You love this person. Have you realized that? There is this strong clinging tendency to this person that you call I. Yeah, you are actually infatuated. And do you remember a point in that initial childhood sweetheart infatuation that you had once upon a time? It started dwindling away, and now you don't feel as attracted as you felt initially. The same thing happens when you start seeing reality and acknowledging every little knock of reality. You dismiss this infatuation with this body. Oh, it's not reality. This is not me. This is not me. This is called denying the personal self. I am literally translating it into English. I am denying what? The idea of a personal self. There was never a personal self. I created the idea of personal self. Yeah? These two don't go together actually. Self is universal. Self is universal. There is no person there, hence there is nothing like personal. So now this recognition starts happening in your own direct seeing that, oh, this person is sometimes there, this person is sometimes not there, but I am constantly there. I am the one that is mindful of the person being there, and I am the one mindful of the person absent here. Oh, that means I am something else. So now this infatuation with this person starts fading away. You start moving from this point of I am the body to I am not the body. You start moving away from this passion towards this body and maintaining it and wanting to be it and look pretty and handsome and richer and famous. Now it all starts looking all fake. Just like that particular relationship of yours, that was an infatuation. Exactly the same thing happens. This is what I call distancing. Natural. You're not forcing it. You're not suppressing yourself. You start acknowledging reality. The step by step acknowledgement creates this distance. Earlier, I was very interested and loved the idea of identifying as the body. Now, I see it as a petty little imagination. I'm not interested in it anymore. Like a child used to play with the doll, the teddy bear, the toy car, or the red ambulance, beautiful fire, all the little fire toys, fire soldiers and the ambulance, and used to love playing with that. And now you've come to a point, it's all fake. That's exactly what happens when the distancing starts happening. Ask yourself, am I at that point in my journey where this distancing has started happening? If I am, fantastic. Now is the time where I can recognize I have hired this chariot and I am the passenger in this chariot. I am not the chariot. Now you come to a distance. Now only you can see very clearly that the intellect that earlier said I am the body now says I am the witness of the body. Same intellect. Do you see? It has changed its party. First it was Republican, now it's become Democratic. Yeah? It has switched from one party to another party. Same intellect. It's not a different intellect. Now I start seeing, this is reality. How did I miss this? That intellect is the charioteer, means the one who has the reins of the horses in its hands. Earlier, it was the one leading towards the belief I am the body. Now this intellect has become smarter and has taken the higher road. Yeah, so now it is leading towards the realization I am not the body. Earlier was belief, now is realization. Please mark the difference in the words. Earlier, the intellect was not sharp. Now, what it has developed is called viveka in Sanskrit, in English translated as discernment. Discernment means what? Literally, removing the weeds from a healthy garden of plants. Literally. Yeah? That is the meaning of discernment. Means what are the weeds? All this fudged story, oh, I am Ekta, I was born here, these are my parents, this is my family, this is where I grew up. All fudged story. What is reality? Right now I cannot see anything like that. I never saw I was born. I never ever realized coming out of my mother's womb. I never knew for the longest time this is mama and this is papa. I was taught. I didn't even know this is I. If somebody asks, is Ekta hungry? I said, yes, Ekta is hungry. What was that? I used to naturally address this body-mind person in the third person. Do you have that little memory? Then you were taught. Parent took your hand and said, this is I, this is you. You were taught. This is I, this is mama, this is papa. Naturally, inherently, I did not address this person or this body as I. This was taught to me. Now, walking on the Advaita Vedanta path, I have reached a stage where I'm naturally going back to that. Yeah? For the longest time I said I am the body. Now I'm recognizing, no, I am not the body. This starts developing that which is called Shraddha within me. Yeah? Because the more I recognize I am not the body, it becomes stronger and deeper. It flowers, it blossoms, because that is what my nature is. I was always like that. All this was superficial learning. It was required for the person to operate in the waking world, but it was completely futile to wipe away the teaching of the witnessing. And that's why I say even young children should be taught about witnessing, and they get it instantly. Ask a 7-8-year-old, don't you feel there are these two eyes constantly looking at you? A 7-8-year-old will instantly say, yes, I cannot steal that cookie from the cookie jar because I know somebody is watching. Even if there is nobody in the room, I know there is somebody watching. That. You had it, naturally you had it. You had it. You're going back to your nature. You're not going to forget that this body needs to be kept safe. The intellect has developed to that stage. It will be taken care of when it's hungry. the food will come, everything will happen. Nothing is going to go wrong with the body. You just have that confidence, that conviction in you, and come to this other side where Yama is taking Nachiketa. Recognize that intellect was the one that had the reins in its hands. It earlier said, I am the body. The same intellect has sharpened and now is called the power of discernment. It has discerned between the weeds and the beautiful flowers in the garden. Yeah, the Viveka has developed, and now this discerned intellect is the same one which has the reins in its hands. And now it is going on the correct path. I am not the body, it is recognizing. The reins earlier that were used by this charioteer, these reins are the mind. The mind says, I like this, I don't like this. So the reins were leading, because it says, I like this, intellect said, okay, I will go this way. Mind says, I don't like this, intellect said, okay, I'll go your way. So the intellect that was listening to the mind earlier now has sharpened and tells the mind, no, doesn't matter whether you like it or you dislike it. This is the path to consciousness at rest. This is the path that I must take, because you have been craving for peace, and now that you're getting that peace, you are wanting to go towards likes and dislikes? No. So now this Viveka, the Sarathi, the charioteer, he's become stronger, and he is the one dictating to the mind, no, we will not go the way of likes and dislikes. Same thing happens to you, no? You decide, beginning of the year, so many of you decided, yes, I am going to be very spiritually inclined this year. Come what may. You started reading, you started meditating, you started inquiring. Come February 1st, what has happened? The mind said, I like this, I don't like this. And then you went the way of the mind. That means the intellect needs some working. A little more work is left for the intellect. Not to go the path of likes and dislikes. Take the path which is the higher road. I have been really wanting this peace. I've really wanted to inquire into myself, my true self. Now is the time. Now is the time. It has automatically come my way. Kathopanishad came my way. I am here. This means that I am a good patra. Patra is a vessel which has a strong bottom. It can contain whatever is put into it. Yes, I am a good patra. With that confidence, dive deeper into inquiry. Not to give up. Not to give up for small little temptations of the world. Oh, let's go party. What you're doing Kathopanishad on the weekend? Come on, let's party. That's how you go with likes. Or one family member comes and fights with you. Now, I don't want to do Kathopanishad. Nothing is good. Everything is bad. The family is bad. The spiritual path is bad. Everything is bad. I am bad. You are bad. The world is bad. There. You've gone the path of aversion. This is the mind. This is not the intellect. Have you reached that level of acute observation where you can clearly see this is the whiny mind and this is what the intellect is saying? It requires acute observation. Do you see this? You'll be able to recognize at a physical level. Likes and dislikes can be recognized at a physical level. Those who've done the Buddha path, I'm talking about Vedana. You'll feel it very clearly, strongly. Either it is pleasant or it is unpleasant. At the intellect level, very clearly, the Viveka speaks only once, quietly, showing you this is the path. You've always been wanting this peace. Why move towards this craving and aversion? That is only chaos. That is mess. We've been there enough. Done that. We know how messy it is. and then the intellect shuts up. It doesn't go on speaking too much. Do you recognize that? The Viveka speaks quietly and it shuts up. It's not speaking in words really. Ekta is expressing in words. She has to articulate in words because that's the only medium of communication here. It's a silent whisper, not in words. It's a tug in the correct direction. Ask yourself, have I reached that level where I listen to the Viveka, the discerned intellect, or do I still give in to the mind? Mind goes raga dvesha, craving, aversion, craving, aversion, craving, aversion. Where do I move? Which is my direction? So now he's talking about the reins. These reins are what is the mind. What about the horses? The horses are driven by the reins, no? If the mind is saying, I like this, where will the horse go? In that particular direction. Yeah? So what is this horse? Yeah. Do you recognize it? It is your senses. Yeah? The 5 senses. These 5 senses will always follow the mind. If you have a good sarathi, a good intellect, discerning intellect, that turns the mind towards the correct direction, now the horses will also turn towards the correct direction. Do you see that? But if your intellect is only undisciplined, uncontrolled, doing whatever the mind says, then there is chaos. And you know what I'm talking about. You have experienced this chaos for yourself. So this is the crux of Kathopanishad. He says, if you get this, Nachiketa, you get it all. If you miss this, you miss it all. So this is the most important. Recognizing these horses are just my senses. What are the senses? 5 senses. Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Those 5 senses. Yeah, we don't have 5 horses, I think, in the diagram, but you imagine it that way. The road on which the chariot is moving is the sense objects, the road of sense objects. What does that mean? I see the beautiful lake outside my window, I see the mountain, I see a beautiful town out there. This is a scene, perception of sight. If I take the stand of the witness, I just see it as one wave that arises, that peaks. I enjoy the sight at the peak and it recedes. It disappears. Now another arising appears. My stomach is grumbling. I'm hungry, rumbling. Now it is this. This is what happens at the witnessing level. But if you pretend to be the body-mind person, what happens? Then you pretend that I, the person, am in this beautiful world. This is the road of sense objects. This is the sense object. The world has become your object right now. Object of sight. Beautiful sight. Beautiful town, beautiful. You're just looking out the window. I'm not even talking about passions and love and attachment and craving yet. I am just talking about the simple act of seeing. That's it. That world has become my sense object. This sense object has such a strong grasp on me that I can fall for it. It is like the magician's magic trick that plays its magic on me, and like a hypnotized child, I get hypnotized by it. Do you recognize this? This is the magic of the objects of senses. This is the strongest. It has the strongest pull. It is the most intense. Yeah, that is what the verse says next. That this sense object, sights, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, all these objects of senses, they are the strongest. Means basically the magic is there. And if you go deeper into your witnessing, you will see that Maya works on me like that only. That is Maya's weapon, that beautiful sight, that good looking person, that fantastic tempting event, that money in the bank, that investing in the stock market, the beautiful jewelry, the wonderful watch. All this is the magic of Maya, the illusion of Maya. I spoke only about pleasant things here. Now substitute unpleasant things. The angry family member, the nosy neighbor, the gossiping friend, the mean boss, the horrible performance at work, the failure in the stock market, the sudden loss of a job, and the minus numbers on the bank statement. All of this is also captivating me. This is also the road of sense objects. Has the road become very clear? Yeah. Now, the main point is, it is the road that you have chosen. When the witness consciousness identifies with the body, says, I am the chariot, and the mind says, I like this way and I don't like this way, then it is choosing the road of sense objects, and it is going to keep moving on that. And you've done that. You've done that enough, don't you think so? Can you choose just the pleasant and dodge the unpleasant road? No. The same road becomes a nice, smooth asphalt road, and the same road becomes a trail, full of pebbles and weeds and thorns. The same road, it is the same road that becomes. You cannot say, no, I will only find the perfect asphalt road and go around on the pleasurable road. It's not a possibility. So, why is it not a possibility? Now is the most important part of the knowledge. The power of Maya is such that it always projects in opposites. Both are projected. Yeah? It's in pairs. You cannot have just the good, you're going to have the bad. You cannot have just the happy, you're going to have the sad. You see that? You're not going to have just the disciplined, you're going to have the indisciplined. You're not going to have just the craving, you're also going to have the fear along with the craving. Have you recognized this? Bring up the memory of anything that you have craved for in life. Anything. Do you recognize it had an accompanying fear? What if this doesn't happen? It is always there. It is not possible to project just the positive. You have also projected the negative. That is why the same road is nice and tarred and asphalted and smooth, and suddenly the same road has become a hike up the mountain where there are just stones on the path and mud and swamps and sand, and you are sinking and falling and tripping. Same road. Same road. This is the most important seeing. It is not possible to find only the pleasant. The unpleasant accompanies the pleasant. So now that you have experienced this pleasant, unpleasant road enough, aren't you done with it? If you're done with it, Nachiketa, then only can you move higher. And what is the higher recognition? I am the witness. I have only hired this chariot, and this chariot may go where it needs to go, and it does not bother me. It is not mine. The wheels of the chariot may break. It is of no concern to me. The horses may do what they want. It is of no concern to me. I am simply witnessing the journey. I am simply witnessing the journey. There is no other shortcut. There is no other shortcut. You cannot say, I will now get off the chariot now that I've recognized I have hired it. No, you hired it for the journey from A to B. You will have to sit in the chariot till point B arrives. You will say, no, but I realized I've hired it. I'm done. I quit. Stop. No. You know those trains, the bullet trains. This chariot is like that bullet train. Now you cannot get off till the next station arrives. When you recognize that I have always been the passenger, I have never really owned the chariot, I have really never owned these horses, I am not the reins, nothing bothers you now. Now it doesn't matter what happens. That is the turning point on this path. Now there is no more suffering. There will be pain. The wheels may break, the spoke may come out, the horse may fall down and die, the reins may break. All these things will happen. Yeah? This is nothing but old age, disease and death. All these things will happen. As they must, they will come. Yeah, but it will not become my suffering because I have quit the story. The fudging of the story and pushing it into the gaps between arisings. I don't do that anymore. I have accepted the fact that I was always consciousness at rest. I only pretended to be consciousness in motion. I did not become consciousness in motion. I accept that this consciousness in motion was only a pretense on my part. I pretended to be the body, I pretended to be the mind, I pretended to be the intellect, I pretended to even be the ego. Yeah? When your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana matures and you see the I collapse, what does it collapse into? Into consciousness at rest. That seeing is the highest seeing. If it doesn't happen just by the witnessing in the waking, you will have to move towards witnessing in the dream and deep sleep. There is no other way out, not possible. And then just not seeing only in Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana, sitting down in closed-eyed samadhi, alert, awake, and recognizing in closed-eyed samadhi is equally important. Why? It builds my conviction. Oh, that which I saw in wake, dream, sleep exploration, the same thing I see in my closed-eyed samadhi. Wow. The I collapses in closed-eyed samadhi. Yeah, that is the state of awakened deep sleep with samadhi. It's called Jagrit Sushupti. And it's the same state where I see the I collapse in between the sandwich of deep sleep. Wow. This conviction can come to me only by my inquiry. Ekta's inquiry, somebody else's inquiry cannot help me. I have to do it for myself. Is that very clear? When I do it for myself, I become very, very clear. Oh, I am only the passenger here. The passenger has got nothing to do with the rented commodity. The body becomes a commodity. It got nothing to do with it now. The person actually dies. The body mind continues in the waking world because it is one and the same machine. I have explained this. Yeah? The waker is equal to the waking world. They are not two separate aspects. They are one and the same. So the waker continues in the waking world. But I have now completely distanced myself from Ekta. I am not Ekta. I have not spoken a word. She's going on and on and on speaking. God knows whether others are understanding or not. But I am at a distance. I have got nothing to do with her. This happens with only one starting point: discernment, viveka. Yes, those who have not yet started the journey, your journey needs to begin with viveka. A lack of intellectual discernment leads to an undisciplined mind. Yeah? The mind is anyway saying, I like this, I don't like this. Yeah? The intellectual discernment lack is now feeding the undisciplined mind. Obviously, the senses are going to be uncontrollable and they are going to be wild horses running amok. The beginning point, Yama says, is intellectual discernment. Yeah? That automatically disciplines the mind. So, intellectual discernment plus a disciplined mind automatically leads to controllable senses or trained horses. Very important, very important. You cannot say all this should happen automatically. Oh, I should read the Upanishad once and I should have disciplined mind, I should have controlled senses. And then you should have been a Shravaka. And if you were a Shravaka, you would have got it by now, just by listening. Be honest. No, I didn't get it just by listening. I need to make an effort. And the effort is only in observation. Did you realize in this entire witnessing there is nothing else that you are doing? Witnessing means observation. Observing that which I used to ignore earlier. That is the meaning of witnessing. Walking the path of witnessing, direct experience. And slowly this will lead to the Supreme. This discernment leads by showing what is higher. So Yama tells Nachiketa, death tells Nachiketa's witness actually, now go beyond, go higher. It is not talking to the body-mind person Nachiketa. It is talking to the witness of Nachiketa. So death is telling him that this witness is stuck in the personhood, especially the senses. Yes, why? Because the senses are the doorway to the sense objects. And the sense objects, remember, they have that captivation, the hypnotism. That is the issue. So work on one very important thing. What? You think, I can see? Become very clear, I am the knower of sight. You think, I can hear? Become very clear, I am the knower of the wave of sound. You think you can smell? Become very clear, no, I am the knower of the wave of smell. I am the witness of the wonderful flavor called strawberry. I am the knower of the texture, soft or hard, smooth. I am not the toucher. That's how you go beyond and you recognize, I cannot see, I cannot hear, I cannot smell, I cannot touch, I cannot taste. I have never done that. I've pretended. I have pretended and I've never been satisfied with the amount I taste. With whatever I taste, it never satiates me. That's why I want more. Do you recognize this? I constantly want to taste more and more and more. I'm not satiated by touch. How much ever intimate sensual contact happens, I want more. I want more, I want more. Do you recognize this? Why do you want more? Why is satiety not there? Because you cannot touch, you cannot taste, you cannot smell. How much ever I hear, it never becomes mine. How much ever of this wisdom I hear, it never becomes mine. I cannot keep it, I cannot hoard it. It slips away like sand slipping from my hands. Why? Why is this satiety not there? Because I cannot hear. Can space hear, see, smell, taste, touch? No. It was only an illusion that I hear, see, smell, taste, touch. Ekta can see, smell, touch, taste, hear. I cannot. I am the witness of Ekta. That's how you start separating yourself away from the hypnotism, from the captivation of the sense objects. Further away, further away, further away. Let go of the imagination. Let the truth reveal itself. Let the truth reveal itself. It was always knocking on your door. You had refused to open the door. Now, open it. Drop this resistance and finally open that closed door. Opening the closed door simply means refusing to accept I am this person. Now I reject the person. The person works automatically like a machine. A computer operates automatically. It can work automatically without my support. Like that, this person can work in this world automatically without my support. This recognition brings us to the most vital verse in this section, where he says that higher than the senses are sense objects. All those beautiful sense objects that are captivating me, hypnotizing me. Obviously they are higher. Because they are so hypnotic and so captivating, the senses run behind them. Yeah? So they are higher. But higher than the sense objects is the mind. Mind says, I like this, I don't like this. So however captivating that is, the mind can say, no, I don't like it, and you will not move that way. So the mind becomes higher than that. But higher than the mind is the intellect. Intellect tells the mind, stop going behind cravings, stop running behind, away from aversions. This will only give you suffering. You be at peace. You recognize that which is higher. So higher than this intellect also is the unmanifest, the Maya that is making this entire mechanism work. It's not manifest to me. Yes, it has a special quality. It projects the mithya, but it itself cannot be seen. What is the mechanism of mithya? I recognize I had craved to eat strawberries. Suddenly there are strawberries sitting on the kitchen counter. Somebody went to the grocery store and got them. How did this projection happen? I don't know. So I can see the mithya, but I cannot see the Maya beyond the mithya. So start recognizing projection. Start recognizing projection. You will start recognizing the quiet power that is making the projection happen. It is the unmanifest. I cannot see it, but I can recognize its work. The same work will happen with big loss in the stock market. The same work will happen with the boss firing you. The same work will happen with the family member embracing you. Oh, I can see all this. This is all projected from my own desire and my own fear. But what is the mechanism? How did it get projected? That is the unmanifest part, the Maya. This Maya is higher than your intellect also. Yes. Yeah. Now, higher than that Maya is the totality, the pure consciousness. Right now you don't understand it. You think the witness consciousness is a little drop from that ocean. Then the witness consciousness collapses into something, the little sandwich of deep sleep, and you say, oh, that is pure consciousness. The point comes where you recognize even that beyond pure consciousness, which is not consciousness, that is the highest. The totality has both aspects, consciousness and not consciousness. The not consciousness is not known to me right now. I am a beginner on the path. Okay, I have just started the witnessing. Know it as, yes, something beyond. Yes. That is my goal. I need to get to the totality. Right now I recognize the first step of witnessing. Fantastic. Pat yourself on the back. This is the correct path. Now keep moving, keep moving higher till you reach the ultimate goal, Nachiketa. That is the totality. You don't stop before that. That is what it's the verse. You go beyond till totality. That is the ultimate goal. In Sanskrit, they have called it Purusha. That is more the path of Sankhya, but we can see it in our direct seeing, so it doesn't matter whether it's the path of Sankhya or the path of Advaita. What is important is direct seeing. That which I can see directly, that's all that I will really see or regard as the truth. Okay? So go from the gross to the subtle to the subtlest, from sense organs to sense objects to mind to intellect to that which is beyond the intellect, the Maya. From beyond the Maya, even you can go to a point where the witnessing field collapses into something beyond. Know that as part of the not consciousness, the totality. This we do in depth in Gurukuls, so if you are interested in going deeper into this path, we go deeper and slower, taking time to reach there so that we all get an opportunity to immerse deeper. We'll get there in Gurukul. For now, at least attempt to step beyond the buddhi to that level of the witnessing awareness field. I am the passenger of this chariot. And stay there. Stay as the passenger. Do not fool yourself that you are the chariot or the charioteer or the reins or the horses. Stop fooling yourself. Start with the basic step. I started this book long ago, Quit Pretending. I've never come to complete it. But that book has all these little things. Quit pretending that I am the person. Quit pretending that I was born on so and so date. Were you really born? Do you have the proof? Is birth certificate proof enough? Do you remember coming out of your mother's womb? No. All these are beliefs. So that book actually tears down each belief. One day I will get some time to get that out and completed. But you start your path here and now. This is the most important aspect of Kathopanishad. If you work on this, you will be able to move ahead higher, because the knowledge only gets higher from here. It doesn't get watered down. It gets complex, more and more complex. So I'll give you some time. I'll give you, let's say, a month. You work on this. What is the work? Every time cravings and aversions come up, I like this person, I don't like that job. Recognize, this is the mind, these are the reins. Can I go one step higher than the reins? Can I come to the charioteer, the intellect? What does intellect tell me? Drop this, I like this and I dislike this. Can you come to the intellect? What is the intellect telling me? And listen to the intellect. If the intellect is not sharp enough, one more step beyond. Can I come to the witnessing awareness field? What does the witnessing awareness field signal here? Can I simply rest as the witness and allow the chariot to move on its designated path? Can I recognize I am the passenger of this chariot? I got nothing to do whether the boss is like this, the family member is like this, the loss is like this, the gain is that. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm watching a movie on a screen. I have rented that chair to watch that movie for 2-3 hours, however long that movie lasts. Yeah? Maybe in this example, 100 years. 100 years of that person, not me. I don't have an age. I have rented this position, this chair, to watch the story of this person. Can I simply watch, be the spectator? This is your work for the next month. We'll meet somewhere in March. I don't have the dates. I have a lot of Gurukul sessions going on, so I'll look at the calendar and decide a date, and they will announce the date. Till then, you work on this. Come to the recognition, I have hired the chariot. This is your main job. If you don't understand this, we can go ahead and finish the verses, but so what? So what? It's not direct seeing. Do you see that? Direct seeing is more important. Working on the skill is more important. So this is what we will work on until we meet again for chapter 1, section 3 in March. Okay. Now, I have already eaten into the 2 hours, so we'll do a short question answer session. See that you keep your questions very concise, to the point, not long essays. And you can ask me questions directly, or you can send it to the host. Yeah? Once we finish the question answer session, the session for this weekend is done. We'll meet only in March. Yeah? So if I'm eating away into your precious Sunday time, if you feel like dropping out, feel free. This wisdom part is over. I will only do questions and answers now. Okay. Okay. So if Shriram, you have any questions, we can directly start with the questions now.
You can unmute yourself and ask.
Didi, the chat is disabled, so we could not type the questions.
Okay. Can you enable the chat, please, Shriram, so that they can type their questions to the host?
Didi, I just have a quick question. Is intellect the inner guru?
Yes, that is the one. That is the avidya aspect till you are ignorant. And that is the one that transforms into the vidya aspect the moment you start recognizing that you are the witness. So that is the inner guru. She's asking this question because she's in the Gurukul. The book is Guru Tattva Drishti. There is no external guru.
Okay. And Didi, what is the non-conscious part of totality?
Yeah, you cannot have totality only as the positive, no? Totality means the completeness. Imagine a circle. Yeah? Draw a line in the middle. Half the circle is plus, the other half is minus. Totality means the completeness, plus and minus, which means consciousness and not consciousness, both. And this you will do in I Am That higher chapters. I have explained the unself conscious being in that.
And just a quick note to everyone, the chat is actually enabled. If you click on everyone, you can't send it. You have to click on new chat and you can send it to host and co-host. So there are a couple of questions in the chat, Didi.
Huh.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's a question: is intellect the same as intuition?
Intellect is the one that shows you the path in every situation. It's the first voice that arises from within. It doesn't speak in English, Tamil, Telugu, French, Marathi, Portuguese. No, it doesn't have a language. It is that quiet flash of awareness that brings the truth out. It will always come first. It is the first arising whenever there is a problem. You will recognize that intellect is telling me this, but immediately the mind will hold on to some craving or aversion. Mind will say, I like this or I dislike this. The moment you know that there is a like or a dislike, you have gone too far. That which you skipped in the middle, that was the intellect. It's just like a flash. It speaks silently, softly, it whispers. Yeah. There is nobody who can say, I am not intelligent. Not possible. Not possible. You are intelligent. You have the intellect. But your problem is that your intellect listens to the mind. Mind says, I like, intellect says, okay. Mind says, I dislike, intellect says, okay. No. Now, the job of the serious spiritual seeker, is to train this intellect. Yeah? That is called discernment, developing the power of discernment. I recognize that going the path of likes and dislikes only brings suffering. I have seen it all my life. I know likes also bring suffering, dislike also bring suffering. Can I get to the witnessing level and see how this happens? The how part of it can be recognized only from the witnessing level. That's where you start seeing, oh, I don't project just a craving, I project an aversion along with it. I say, oh, this should not happen. I should not get fired. The economy is very bad. Everybody is losing their job. I should not get fired, or I should not get fired. What are you also saying? I might get fired. Do you see? Yeah. Both are there. She should love me. She should love me. She should say, I love you. She should say, I love you. What are you also saying? What if she says, I don't love you? Are you saying this? Now you start seeing projection. See, Ekta is explaining this, but these are non-personal situations. You have to see it exactly in the moment the mind is craving. You have to see in the moment that the mind is averse. That one who is showing you is the discerned intellect. It is showing you, look, there you have projected both. Now be ready for anything. Wherever the balance has the higher weight, that is what is going to happen. You cannot change it. Yeah, if you came to the spiritual path, I am going to change my life. No, you cannot change the waker's story. Forget about it. There is nothing like that. That happens in a psychotherapist's office, not on the spiritual path. Yeah? Maybe you need mental wellness. Maybe you don't need the spiritual path. Spiritual path has only one goal. And what is that? To find the answer to the question, who am I? That's it. Spiritual path will give you nothing else. Forget about it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting the teacher's time. Yeah? Don't even think about joining Jnana Sangha Gurukul. Yeah? It's not for mental wellness. Not at all. In fact, these points will hurt somebody who is depressed. Yeah? Somebody who is depressed does not want to hear, you do not exist. And in Gurukul, all you hear is you do not exist. Yeah? So this is not a mental wellness class. Please remember that. Yeah? There are other avenues for them. Please find the correct avenue. Here in Jnana Sangha, you are told the truth. You do not exist. You do not love your mother, you are faking it. You were never born to your parent, you are faking it. You are not that body. You are faking it. You are going to be told harsh truths like this. Somebody who is not mentally well cannot take this. Being able to see this truth is the sign of a discerned intellect. Discerned, developed, matured, spiritually matured. Got nothing to do with the age of the body. People can be 80, 90, 100 years old but have the intellect of a 2-year-old. You're not talking about that. You're not talking about the body. This is spiritual maturity. This is altogether another level. Here, the intellect starts seeing, I was never the body, I was always pretending to be Ekta. No, I'm not this person. So clearly I see Ekta lie down at 11, 12 in the night. She's disappeared. I still am. There is some dream going on, some story going on, and a point comes when the dream disappears. I still am. Oh, I was not the waker, I was not the dream character, and there is this nothingness that I know. Am I the nothingness? That is where your actual inquiry begins. It doesn't end there, it begins there. Yeah? So, this requires a skill, and that skill begins with the nurturing of the intellect. Yeah? Viveka. So, if you're very serious about Viveka and your path, and you are not here for mental wellness, then I would encourage you to prove your earnestness, your sincerity. Watch whichever scripture appeals to you on the Jnana Sangha website, take 6 exams, prove it that yes, I am earnest, and you can join the Gurukul. Gurukul takes 3, 4, 5 years maybe, where every week we meet and you dive deeper and deeper and deeper into your seeing. However immature the intellect it is, in 4, 5, 6 years of effort, you will get to a point where the intellect will mature, where Viveka will really become your wealth. So if you're really interested, and only if you're here to know the answer to the question, who am I? You're welcome to apply for Gurukul.
Maybe there's a question on how to sharpen intellect and power of discernment.
That's what I told you, listening to reality. Now that is not something that is taught in the books in the waking world. So you cannot really pick it up from the waking world. It happens by denying the personal self the indulgence in the waking world. It's exact opposite of what you've been thinking. So that's what I just explained. The Gurukul will help you. Because in Gurukul your reins will come. I like this, I don't like this. And then all Ekta has to do is now pull the reins. It's a lot of work for me. I have to keep fighting with your ego. It's a lot of work. So that's what Gurukul is meant for. When you are ready for it, when you feel you're ripe enough and you have that one pointedness towards the question, who am I? I need to get there. How can I not get there? I have to get there. Everything else is second priority. That is my first priority. When that happens to you, then you're ready for Gurukul. Then you're welcome to join us and we'll get there together.
There's a question on how the perception of senses and sensations are separate.
Sensation is what is happening in the body. Simple. Sensation is in the body. Sight is not in the body. It's outside the body. That's how you see it at your first level. At the beginner level, you recognize an outside and inside. Those who have moved higher in Gurukul, we are not talking about you. So you don't demote yourself, you please stay there up. Okay? There is an outside and there is an inside. for the beginner. So the beginner should see like that, okay, sight appears and disappears, sound appears and disappears, smell appears and disappears, taste appears and disappears, touch appears and disappears. Oh, this is outside. What is outside is called the waking world. Sensation, Vedana, is inside. It can be very clearly felt here. Now, Vedana is a term from the path of Buddha. I teach the path of Buddha as well as the path of Advaita Vedanta. They are not different, but just different languages, Pali and Sanskrit. It's actually the same thing. So, Vedana is the Pali word from Buddha's path for sensation. It is happening at a physical level. Before the sensation is felt at the physical level, certain steps have already happened. There's already been the contact between consciousness and the sense object, and a feeling has arisen because of that contact. That feeling is experienced at a physical level. That is the Vedana. So that's what I was telling the ones who have done the Buddha path with me, that observe it, it will be at the sensation level. You will recognize craving and aversion happens at the sensation level. The first sign is the sensation level, and then is the words I like, I dislike. You don't even speak to yourself in the words I like, I dislike. It's some form of an articulation. It's like invisible vasnatmic hands going out to grasp it or be averse from it. Before these invisible hands are going out, there is a sensation. Catch it right there. This also requires some deeper diving into suttas of Buddha on Vedana, on sensation. Then only can you really grasp it, sit in samadhi, figure out what is sensation, and then you can understand this better. Just a 2-minute explanation will not cut it. Just know that this is a deeper level sadhana to be done in samadhi, to recognize, aha, this is the sensation. From here erupts I like, I dislike. Here is where I catch it. This is too late. I like, I dislike is too late. Here is where I catch it. This is a beginner level thing, catching at the sensation. The people who are higher, have moved higher, been walking on the Buddha's path for quite some time with me, they have gone to deeper levels where just by the contact of the eye with the object of sight, right there, they can cut the contact. It's called cutting the sensual cord. It's directly translating from Pali. Buddha called it cutting the sensual cord. Right when I see it, there is a recognition that this is only suffering. The moment you cut the sensual cord, you are already at the witness level. This is the higher level, but that is step 2. Beginners, we teach observe the sensation. Vedana is for the beginner level. Vijnana, pure vijnana, where you cut it right at the level where consciousness comes in contact with the sense object. Right there I cut it. That is the pure vijnana level. This is for the people who have advanced. All this requires the effort in silent, quiet samadhi. Know that. Just sitting and listening to it will not cut it. You have to come to the point where the mind becomes quiet, so much so that you start recognizing the Vedana at the body level. So just attending a session online once in a month, once in 3 months is not going to do it. It's just like you came and you watched a spiritual movie, good movie, great. And you're back to the same waking world. If you're serious, you should stop doing that now. It's a long time you've been doing it. That is not going to cut it. Now you dive deeper. Can I choose one path and dive deeper into it? Advaita Vedanta is the way I want to go, this direct path is the way I want to go, then I pick up wake, dream, sleep exploration, Swapna, Nidra, Jnana Sadhana, and dive deeper into it. You're not able to do it on your own, come to a retreat. Come to a retreat. The venue charges you for your food and accommodation. I don't charge you for anything. For me, it is dana. It's my gyan dana. Donation of wisdom. You're receiving it for free. You're only paying the venue. So if you're serious about getting started, come and we will go deeper into samadhi. You learn, I teach you the technique in such a way that you can go back home and do samadhi. Most of the people who are in Gurukul, they practice samadhi twice a week. They come online like this on Zoom and everybody's just sitting and doing the samadhi technique that they learnt in the retreat. Why? Because they also want to recognize that Vedana that comes up just before the mind goes, I like and I dislike. Can I work on that? That is the key for the beginner. And when he learns to dissolve that, he realizes, oh, I am so strong, I can actually work on direct contact in open-eyed. Direct contact with sound. I can do it with touch. I can do it with smell. So the closed-eyed samadhi automatically translates to open-eyed, waking world, complete dispassion, complete maturation of viveka, such that it takes me to vairagya. Viveka is power of discernment, vairagya is dispassion. I will have to do it first with closed-eyed. If I were a Shravaka, person who gets it just by listening, by now I should have been enlightened. Are you? Ask yourself. No? Then maybe I have to dive deeper into closed-eyed samadhi. Just listening is not doing it for me. That's how you go deeper and deeper and you work on yourself in closed-eyed and bring it into open-eyed. Just closed-eyed is not sufficient. Not at all. I will never encourage you to do that. Now you bring it into open-eyed. Closed-eyed samadhi doesn't mean you go back home and sit in samadhi for 10 hours every day. No, I just tell them once a week as a reminder. That's it. Now you bring it into your open-eyed. What's the point? Once a week, 3 hours, 2-3 hours, you sit in closed-eyed samadhi, you're a saint. The moment you opened your eyes, you're the monster of the house. No point. No point. The intention is that you stop being the monster that you are. The intention is that you stop torturing yourself the way you have been torturing yourself. The intention is that you stop suffering, quit suffering. Is that very clear? That's why you must go into closed-eyed samadhi if Vedana really appealed to you. We have a Buddha retreat coming up in California in February. I think 18th of February. 4-day beginner's retreat. It's a good idea to first just do a beginner's retreat. Just 4 days. Which one is for me? Is the Buddha retreat for me or the Advaita Vedanta retreat for me? Then once you choose something, now dive deep into it. Now you go to a certain level in one path, you will see, oh, the other is similar. Oh, it's similar. Then you will be able to do both. And a point will come, any scripture from any language, anywhere in the world, you pick up, you read it, and you know. That is the goal. Not Ekta explaining to you and you becoming dependent on Ekta. That is not the point here. That is pointless. Then you will be spiritually dependent on her. No. I have divorced Ekta. Why are you getting attached to her? You become spiritually independent. That is the goal. Spiritually independent means I recognize who I am. When I recognize who I am, doesn't matter which scripture I pick up, which book, which language of the world, if I can read it translated to my language, I understand it completely. Oh, why? Because I know myself, I see myself, I have realized who I am. So the words cannot confuse me. And that's how you will see all of them are one. All paths lead home. So dive deeper. Most important, if you want to understand Vedana, dive deeper, start recognizing in closed-eyed samadhi. Oh, there is this Vedana which precedes I like and I dislike. That is my work area. Okay.
There are a few more questions. Is there any role of memory in creating time and space?
Yeah, memory has only created the idea of time. No, memory has created all this. I am a person, I am born here, I went to school here, I went to college here, I got married, I had children, I had this job, I had that job, this happened, that happened. All this is memory, no? So this timeline is created by memory. Reality is just the now and the arising on the now. And for Gurukul, the now, the arising on the now, and the viper of the now. Those who are at the higher level, you recognize, oh, that viper is me only. I am only wiping away. The mind destroys what it creates. That's the highest level seeing. Those who are in Gurukul now, working on yourself this week, recognize this. The mind destroys everything that it creates. It wipes away everything.
There's a question that if the likes and dislikes or cravings are arisings witnessed as feelings or sensations.
It's sensation. So that's what I just explained, no? Vedana. You will recognize these automatic vasnatmic hands going out for the chocolate ice cream. Intellect is saying, no, sugar is not good for me. The doctor has advised not to take so much sugar. Intellect is wise, but you still feel those vasnatmic hands. Vasana means lust. I have created this word. It's not in any scripture. It's like the invisible hands of lust going out, wanting that ice cream, despite the intellect saying the doctor has said not to have so much sugar. Yes. So you feel it. It's a feeling of invisible hands going out to grasp something, or invisible hands going out to push something away. Recognize these invisible hands of lust. They are of lust. They are not hands. They are not this physical body. I'm talking at a sensation level, a feeling level. Start recognizing, oh yes, I recognize this. Oh yes, see. The stomach gives a signal, I am done. I have had enough food for today. The tongue says, no, no. See that? That was very tasty. A little more. One more piece of bread, one more chapati, one more piece of pizza, something. One more. Recognizing how is the one more coming. Ekta is articulating it in English, saying the tongue is craving. Neither does the tongue say anything, nor are there words. Yeah? You just experience a sensation of lustful hands going out to grasp. Do you see that? That is something that you must work on recognizing first. All possible only from the witness level, huh? Not possible from the pretentious body-mind person, because the person does not want to see it. The person says, I'm enjoying, let me enjoy. Do you see this? So you cannot pretend to be this person and see the truth. You have to zoom out, come to the witnessing, and start there.
There are a few questions on how to remain in witnessing while things are happening in the waking world and not being indulged in it. So how to maintain that separations? There are a couple of questions on those lines.
It is not the waker that you need to stop. The waker and the waking world are one. This I do at the Gurukul level, where we work on understanding first that the waker and the waking world are an automatic program. You've seen code, those who have seen a little bit of code. Uh, According to the code, the program works. And then once the code is written, I cannot change anything in the program. I cannot interfere in the program. The program will run per the code. Like that only, the body, mind, person and its waking world of people, situations and things, they work like a program. Yeah? And the first step on the Gurukul path is always take the stand of the witness and keep observing this is a program. So every week we work on recognizing again and again, see, this is a program, this is a program, this is a program. And you implement it back at home every week. And that's how it becomes very clear by the removing of the conditioning that I am this waker, that this program operates of its own accord. Now you come to a higher level understanding. If I'm the witness, I have hired this chair to watch the movie of the waker in the waking world, which means I cannot change the movie story. I am only the passenger. Or you take a movie ticket and you go in and watch the movie. You cannot change the story. So that recognition starts happening. Oh, even earlier I could have never changed the story. But I pretended that because I was for this decision and against this decision, and that which I was for worked out in the story script, I assumed I took the decision and I made this happen. This starts becoming very clear. Oh, I never made anything happen. All the successes belong to Ekta. It's got nothing to do with me, the witness. All the failures belong to Ekta. Got nothing to do with me, the witness of Ekta. This clarity starts happening when we meet every week and discuss the same thing every week in different levels from different angles, and then you quit trying to change the waker. Finally, you realize, oh, all I have to do is witness what is happening and accept what is happening as it is. I have never been able to change it, and I can never change it. This recognition establishes you in witnessing, and you quit this silly thing of trying to change the waker in the waking world. So if the waker indulges in the waking world, so be it. It's the program. I, the witness, quit pretending to be the waker Ekta. That is it, of essence here. For example, this session has been going on for about 2.5 hours. Ekta has been speaking for 2.5 hours. I have not spoken a word. That. I've only witnessed her speaking something. Sometimes I'm only amazed. Wow, what a point. Because I'm very clear, I'm not the thinker. I'm not the speaker. I have got nothing to do with this wisdom coming out through her. She is simply the medium of this story unfolding, scene by scene, scene by scene, scene by scene. I am only witnessing. Only witnessing her. That is required. Yeah? You cannot get there by listening to this talk for 2 hours and saying, okay, I'm there. No. It is a skill. You will have to nurture this skill. You cannot say, oh, just by listening I should have gotten there. If you were a Shravaka, you would have been there already. You would have not needed this session. You see that? The flow has brought this to you to reveal something to you. Effort is required. Yeah? The effort is only in removing these blinders. There is nothing else. In really seeing what I was ignoring. That is the only effort. In seeing. I was so lazy I had closed my eyes. Yeah? Now I refuse to close my eyes. That's it. And then it will take some time for this conditioning to go away. Means the blinders are so thick. I remove one layer, there is another layer underneath. Now to remove that layer, there is another layer underneath. Yeah? It takes some time for those thick blinders to become thinner, 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 and soon light can be recognized. Oh, there is some light on the other side. There's still some blinders, some layers of blinders still there, but there is, I can recognize faint light. That is the Shraddha that develops in your own direct seeing. Wow, I can get to that light. One more layer of conditioning needs to be removed. One more, one more. Yeah, so keep working. You cannot say, oh, this work should be only 2 days. Huh? You went to medical school, architecture school, engineering school. How many years you gave to that? Only twice the amount you give here. Only. Forget about it, it's going to happen in one weekend. I'll go to 20 swamis. No, nothing. Till the time you sit down, you make an effort to drop conditioning, it is not going to happen. Very clear? So, again, stop trying to change the waker. The waker is perfect according to its story. It is the waker's story. However happy or sad, it is the waker's story. You need to completely tear yourself out of that screen. You go to a movie, you become the hero or heroine on the screen. That's what has happened to you. You have become the hero or the heroine on screen. Tear yourself out from that screen. Sit back in your chair and recognize I was always the witness. That is not going to change the movie story. Recognize that. The story will continue. But I do not get hurt. I am not happy. I am not unhappy. I am not sad. I am not touched by it. That is the magic. Okay.
If the end goal of this practice is to know who I am, who is it that is knowing who I am?
The one that forgot. The one that forgot. You have to find who forgot. Who is that? Who is that? That which got me into this mess, that will get me out. Who forgot? And that is what you are supposed to find out. That is the whole self-inquiry path. Who is forgotten? Is it this person, this body-mind person? Does this person even have the ability to think, to remember, to forget? No. This body and mind are inert, not alive and conscious by themselves. It's only an idea that this body is alive and conscious. It's running on borrowed charge, like your phone dances and sings to you on borrowed electricity. For that much time it seems to be alive and conscious. But in reality, without electricity, it is a dead, inert, absolutely useless thing. Similarly, this body is dead, inert, useless without something higher. That which is making it conscious, that which is giving it this aliveness. Can I find that? So who forgot? That is the one who needs to remember. Who am I? That is the self-inquiry path. Clear? Answered your question?
This next question Does the seeds of Vairagya sprout little by little even before Viveka is fully blossomed? Is
Yes,
it like the 2 degrees of seeing?
yes, yes. So the question is, does dispassion or vairagya sprout little by little, or is it going to be one day when there is going to be lightning in the sky, thunder, and the sky is going to speak to me? No, no, no such dramatic thing is going to happen to you. You already have the sprouts of dispassion. I'll share a bitter truth with you, which you all know about yourself, but you don't have the courage to accept it. Many times, in a family situation, everybody is discussing some intense problem that has arisen, and you are completely zoomed out as if you are not concerned. Has that happened? Many times it is about your own son, your own daughter, your own parent, yeah, about your own spouse. You are zoomed out as if just the body is there, but I am not there. That, yes, that is the little sprout of dispassion. You already have it. Each one of you. What I just said could be in office, could be with an intense situation in your social circle, wherever. That doesn't matter. But this has happened to each one of us where we recognize that I am not there. I'm zoomed out. I do not care in reality. I pretend to care because I have already pretended to be the mother, the father, the brother, the sister, the friend, the boss, the colleague. But a part of me is revealing that truth that I don't care. Has happened with each one of you? Yes, that is the seed of dispassion. You already have it in you. You're naturally that. You're only pretending to care about the son, the daughter, the parent, the friend, the money, the car. A part of you doesn't even care when there is loss of money. A part of you doesn't care when there is success or gain of some big money or accolades and name, fame. A part of you doesn't care. That. Hold on to that part. That is what is described in the book Vairagya Drishti. Yeah, Bhartari was the only sage who spoke at length about Vairagya, about dispassion. Yeah, and he's very clear about it, that it has to be a natural sprouting. You cannot practice Vairagya. You cannot practice to be dispassionate. It's actually a seed in you, and that naturally grows. It grows naturally. And when you see it growing, that is how you recognize your Vairagya path has automatically started. So it's not that all Viveka should be 100% there and then only Vairagya will shine like a lightning from the sky. No, no. Vairagya comes in sprouts here and there along with Viveka. This passion keeps sprouting with discernment. Sometimes it's not visible to you, sometimes it's very clear to you. And then the ego comes up. No, no, I have to pretend to be the parent. I have to pretend to be the brother or sister. No, no, I'm concerned. But again, you zoom out very naturally. And again, you're pretending. No, no, I have to be concerned. Others are saying, oh, come on, you are the parent. Aren't you concerned about the child? But some part of you is zoomed out, not interested, doesn't care. Doesn't matter whether it is a pleasant situation or unpleasant situation. That part is naturally dispassionate. You are that, Bhartari says. You are that. I've explained this in Vairagya Drishti, and this year we have a long retreat in India, the Vairagya retreat for the people who have completed at least the first 10 degrees of seeing on the Viveka journey. So in the retreats I do 20 degrees of seeing of Viveka, and then that's how it helps me determine if this person has come to the point of 10 degrees of seeing, their Viveka can begin. their Vairagya journey can begin. I don't wait for completion of all of Viveka, because your sprouts of Vairagya or dispassion have already started with Viveka. That's how you go deeper and deeper into closed-eyed samadhi and bring it up in your open-eyed, waking witnessing.
If changing waker in the waking world is kind of futile, then is it not paradoxical with sharpening intellect as it requires effort?
No, you don't have to sharpen the intellect. That is what you've gone back to, the doership. You're saying, I am the doer now, and I, the doer, am going to sharpen my intellect. No. I am saying, quit pretending that you are the doer. That is what will sharpen the intellect. Intellect sharpens just by seeing the truth and rejecting the lies. Your problem is you have embraced the lies and you're rejecting reality. It's exact opposite of what you learnt on the path of religion and Dvaitam path and the path where you do rites, rituals and karma and all that. That is all the opposite of what we are doing here. Exact opposite. Quit believing that you are the doer. When you recognize, I was never the doer, I was only pretending to be the doer. So now how can you sharpen your intellect? You are not going to sharpen the intellect. The intellect automatically gets sharpened when you clean the window of its old dirt. That dirt is the conditioning. That belief that I am the doer is the dirt on the window. Now you're cleaning the glass by stopping the false belief of I am the doer. Light is automatically coming through, no? Did you have to do something to bring in the light now? No. You see that? That is called sharpening of intellect. It is an automatic process once you quit the false belief. That's it. You have to only quit the false belief. That is not a doing. Yeah? That is a seeing. That is why it is called the path of acute observation. Seeing reality as it is. In Buddha's language, vipassana. Pasana, to see. Vi means special seeing. Special seeing means acute seeing. Seeing it as it is. Without the story making in the mind.
A participant needs a clarification. Is it right to say that the witness only watches the waker's movie and the witness only projected due to its likes and dislikes?
Yes. As a beginner level, this is good. Fantastic. Great job. The witness only projected. A point will come when you'll go higher and you'll know pure consciousness itself was confused. Yeah? But that is theory for you right now. Yeah? No need to jump to theory. Be at the direct seeing that you have. Stay as the witness, recognize. Witness only likes something in the waker's story. Witness only dislikes something in the waker's story. Likes and dislikes are nothing but projections. Because it's all mithya, no? Very easy to project mithya, an illusion. Story is mithya. Do you realize it? I was born here, I went here, this happened, that happened, she did this happened, blah, blah, blah. All mithya, very easy to project mithya. A point will come when you will be tired of the projection. You'll quit projecting. When you quit projecting, the witness relaxes, rests in its mother's lap. And then you realize, oh, pure consciousness was the one that forgot who am I. Pure consciousness is the one who has realized, oh, I am that. Okay? So then you realize it started there. The beginning point was there. But right now that is theory for you if you are a beginner. You have recognized the witnessing level. This is where you continue your work till more and more insights keep sprouting. Okay? Good job.
There's a question on the diagram which was initially shared. Um, there's a clarification in the diagram if the witness consciousness is going on till the time it is realized that it is consciousness at rest, and how is it depicted in the diagram basically?
Oh, the white picture?
Not the chariot one.
Oh, in that there is no consciousness at rest in the chariot. The consciousness at rest is inside the rider. The path is inwards. Yeah, there are two paths. The path of pravritti and the path of nivritti. The path of pravritti goes outwards, goes out towards the intellect, the mind, the senses, the sense objects. The path of nivritti goes in the opposite direction, goes inwards, away from all this, towards that which is the screen on which all this is playing. Yeah? So when you go inwards, you come to the screen. Yeah? I know it is like a twist for the mind. Yeah? Inwards when you go, you come to the screen, the blankness, the nothingness, the empty white screen that I had, consciousness at rest. That is who I am. From there, I project all of this. That is what will be in the next section, which we will do in March. How I project. Yeah, to give you it in short, I first project in dream, and then the same I extend towards the waking. I project first ether, then with ether comes automatically the sense of sound. Next, I project air, comes sense of touch. Next, I project fire, comes sense of sight. Next is water, sense of taste. And finally, earth, sense of smell. That's how I project first in the dream. And then I extend that to the waking. I'll do this in depth in the next section. You have to work on seeing that. No point believing Ekta and believing what is there in the scripture. So what? Okay, you believed it. So where did you go with the belief? Not going to make an ounce of change. Nothing is going to happen by believing. You must see it. So you must start walking the path of self-inquiry. That's why I gave you a work area, because the knowledge gets only higher from here. First you start recognizing the reins, that is the mind. Start recognizing the intellect. Start recognizing the witness that is higher than the intellect. This much is good enough. Work on this. Can I turn the reins away from likes and dislikes, yeah, to a direction where there is an inward movement towards the path of nivritti. Nivritti towards consciousness at rest. Not moving out towards sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, but turning the chariot 180 degrees inwards. Yeah, if you want to make it graphical, it turns inwards and now it starts moving towards the blank, white, nothingness, but alive emptiness. I've always craved for that peace. That is what I want. Now let me rest there, recognizing I am only a passenger on this chariot. Clear? So it's not in the diagram, it's inside. It's an inward path. Yeah? Inside the passenger, the rider.
There are a couple of questions on the mechanics of Maya and Mithya. This first one is a clarification. Maya projects both aspects of duality, and Mithya manifests only one aspect, which has more intensity created by mind and witnessed by witness consciousness.
Witnessed by witness consciousness is the wrong thing there. It is the intensity of the mind's craving or aversion that projects it. You don't know the weight of your craving. You don't know the weight of the aversion accompanying the craving. I want him to say he likes me is the craving, and the fear, what if he says he doesn't like me? Tell me which has the greater weight, which is heavier? You don't know. You don't know which is heavier, right? You cannot figure that out. So the unmanifest part, that which I cannot see, that mechanism in the background that recognizes which has the heavier weight, that is Maya, cosmic illusion. That which manifests in front of me, whether he says he likes me or he says he dislikes me, that is mithya, the product of Maya, Maya's measurement. It's called measurement. I have explained this in other Upanishads, right? Measurement. Maya measures everything and it vomits out the correct amount of deserving karma. And that is what is karma. And when it vomits that out, what you see is the mithya part of it. But how did that karma get determined? How? What determined it? Which was the greater weight? How do I see that? That is unmanifest. That is the Maya aspect, the cosmic illusion. When you become quieter and quieter and quieter in samadhi, you can get to a point of Jagrat Sushupti where you do recognize, oh, this is just the way Maya is tempting me right now to move towards this mithya. You will be able to come there, but provided that is your top priority in life. Yeah? That is what you really want to see. Very possible to see this with direct experience. For that, the mind needs to be really quiet. No I like and I dislike clouding the vision. No blinders. Not even a thin layer of blinder will do. Completely open eyes of wisdom. Then you truly see. And I'm telling you from what I see. I've not read this in any book. Maya is the mother, Mithya is its child. Start recognizing that you have the ability, the capability to see.
The second question is if both Maya and Mithya are programmed before the chariot is hired.
The chariot is the program, running already started. You hired that chariot because you chose to believe that you are not the highest, not the supreme. You chose to believe that I am not the witness. You chose to believe that I am a limited individual, a limited individual entity in a finite world. You have projected it all. You means who? You means the witness, not the body. The body itself, poor thing, is a projection. Yeah? It has no say of its own. Yeah? The person has no say of its own. You, the witness of that, have projected this out of your cravings and aversions.
There was a question that came in from the standpoint of a witness consciousness, and that if the witness is already realized that's the witness consciousness and it's established, then why all this?
What all this? Oh, I'm asking you why all this? Why do you want to then fake that you are the body? Why do you want to fake you're a mother or a father? Why do you want to fake you're a man or a woman? Why are you faking you're a son or a daughter? Why are you faking that you're rich or poor? Stop faking. I am asking you why. You cannot ask me. I am asking you. Why are you faking? Stop faking. Quit pretending. If you realize you are the witness, stop faking. You're saying, no, I'll be the witness and I will still wear the costume, go on stage, do all the performances, and then I will come off stage and I will remember I'm the witness. It is not possible. It is not possible. It is not possible. quit pretending. On stage or off stage, be yourself. Like I said, for the past 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 48 minutes, I have not said a word. I have quit the stage. Do you have the guts to quit the stage? That is the difference. Got your answer?
Just one question came up. On Buddha's path, even the consciousness is dependently originated. So does that mean the impersonal I am, the sense of being, is also an illusion?
Yes. Yes. Only the totality is reality. Only the totality is reality. Yeah? That is what Buddha called shunyata. And that totality is also there on the Advaita Vedanta path. Yeah? So the I, the not I, both I and not I, the consciousness and the not consciousness are part of this totality. The totality is the highest. That is where the direct experience path is taking us. Keep chugging, keep walking. You're in the right direction.
We are done with all the questions now.
Fantastic. So let's wrap up this session. If you have any more questions that come up, please feel free to put them in Flock. If some of you have not joined Flock and have no idea, you can send me an email. Sriram can project my email address. Send me an email whenever I get an opportunity to go through the emails. I do respond to people. Yeah, those who are serious about walking the wake, dream, sleep exploration path, the Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. There are already 2 books available on Amazon. The volunteers will send you the links. You can get started with the pointers in that book. Yeah? Attempt Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana at home on your own. If you are not able to do it, then you are welcome to a retreat. Yeah? Then if you see if this is really your path, dive deeper, take 5 to 6 exams. After you submit your exams, join Gurukul, and we can meet like this on a weekly basis. Yeah, so, pardon me, I cannot do more of these open sessions open to all because I have 5 Gurukul batches now every week, and it's a lot of work. With them, a lot of time is consumed. So it's a good idea if you are serious about your path, you join a Gurukul batch. And about this Kathopanishad, we will move ahead in March. I will look at the Gurukul calendar and I'll get back to you on what is the date when we can meet again. Remember, we are going higher now, higher than the chariot example. So see that you work on that chariot understanding in your direct seeing. And then we will move higher in March. So until then, keep practicing your self-inquiry. Remember, this is the path of effort. Effort is required in ripping off the blinders that are blinding you.